published 1:45 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 21st of June 2018, updated 1:57 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 21st of June 2018. Channel 10 has denied Richard Dreyfuss' claims that he was tricked by the project's Lisa Wilkinson during his appearance on Sunday's show. In a statement to Daily Mail Australia on Thursday, a spokesperson for the network said the panel's line of questioning was provided in advance and talking
points include the project rejects these claims. Channel 10 denies Richard Dreyfuss' claims that he was tricked by Lisa Wilkinson when she asked about in written correspondence with the Supernova publicist. An interview brief was provided 3 days prior which included the line of questioning the project panel would put to both Richard Dreyfuss and Kathleen Turner. This included a discussion about their appearances at Supernova, but also that the panel would address the
Given the public allegations made about Mr. Dreyfuss, the project would not have him on the program without addressing these issues, and Mr. Dreyfuss' publicist was made aware of this. At no stage did the program attempt to catch out or entrap Mr. Dreyfuss, and it was never the intention of the project panel to offend him. In written correspondence with the Supernova publicist, an interview brief was provided 3 days prior which included the line of questioning the project panel would put to both Richard Dreyfuss and Kathleen Turner.
The statement continued, this included a discussion about their appearances at Supernova, but also that the panel would address the comes after Richard addressed his controversial appearance on Network 10's The Project on Sunday, which saw a fluffy interview take an awkward turn when he was asked about the statement. Speaking on the Today Show Thursday, Richard Dreyfuss addressed his controversial appearance on The Project, which saw a fluffy interview take an awkward turn when he was asked about a 5-minute speech. A visibly furious Dreyfuss complained that sexual abuse in Hollywood was raised as a topic of discussion during what he was assured by producers would be a light and friendly chat. On Sunday's The Project, Lisa Wilkinson had asked the Jaws star about the anti-harassment. Dreyfuss has emphatically denied the allegations. Awkward. On Sunday's The Project, Lisa asked Dreyfuss about the anti-harassment.
Dreyfuss has emphatically denied the allegations. Dreyfuss, who was being interviewed alongside fellow actor Kathleen Turner, did not seem to be prepared for the question and, after attempting to defend disgraced U.S. Senator Al Franken, was cut off by host Tommy Little, addressing the 10 interview, which he described as a mugging. Dreyfuss explained on Today Extra that he had been assured beforehand that serious questions would not be asked. He claimed that, if asked politely prior to the live broadcast, he may have been willing to speak about the allegations.
Unimpressed, Dreyfuss told Today Extra on Thursday that he resented being caught off guard by Wilkinson's pictured right, Kathleen Turner. However, he resented being caught off guard by Wilkinson's.
Today Extra presenters Sonia Kruger and David E. Campbell sat in silence throughout Dreyfuss' extraordinary statement.
Afterwards, Kruger and Campbell gave Dreyfuss the opportunity to address the
He argued that a TV interview wasn't an adequate medium to discuss such a complex issue, saying, "I will not talk about it under those circumstances. It requires an article or a book." One was mugged the other night in Sydney, Australia. Not by a petty thief but by the host and hostesses of a talk show called The Project. Kathleen Turner and I had been invited on the show to have a light, friendly chat about the autograph show that we were participating in Sydney and then Perth. As that invitation to a specifically light and friendly chat was being repeated to us by 2 or 3 of the show's staff, questions were prepared and entered into the teleprompters that could be referred to by Lisa Wilkinson and Hamish MacDonald. 2 of the hosts, light and friendly, did not survive until the end of the first sentence. It was directed as a question to Kathleen. Something about, has Hollywood changed in the last year in its treatment of men towards women? The second question was directed at me by Lisa, and just to put this in context, I had been named. I had been accused of sexual misconduct last November 7th. And I was asked to remember something that had happened 30 years previously. It was apparently a flirtation that I was involved in and did not know was not consensual. And Lisa's question to me was, Richard, did you express your shame because you had worked at realizing you had done something shameful, or because you had been accused and caught at, so why they had made such a point of repeating we were going to have a light and friendly chat, while keeping the real questions a secret? I have no idea. But they never asked me to have the chat they wanted to have. And I think I might have said yes had they asked it in the proper tone of voice. The behavior of those through whom you get your news is the reason I'm here this morning. It is not about my alleged behavior then, now or ever. You can dismiss what I'm saying now as I'm being defensive. The television personalities involved will just continue to confuse what is right and what is wrong behavior. And I assure you that, in my country, there is an enormous decay going on, an assault and drowning of this kind of trickery is going on every day, and I would ask, why would you want to emulate America at its worst? You should try to emulate America at its very famous best. I would also say that the reason that television hosts and hostesses don't ask the right question is the same reason ours don't. It's that they have a contempt for the viewers and the guests. You should watch out for that. Because that's where you're getting your information. If America does no longer respect the Bill of Rights, you should. Don't go down with a sinking ship. Dreyfuss appeared to be under the impression that his interview on the project was simply to promote the Supernova Expo convention in Sydney.
Things took an awkward turn on Sunday's program when the conversation abruptly shifted towards sexual abuse in Hollywood. Responding to a question about
assumption of women as lower-class citizens is universal, Wilkinson then asked Dreyfuss about a controversial recent statement he made in response to a colleague accusing him of past inappropriate behavior. Dreyfuss explained that he was a low-down dirty dog during his early Hollywood years in the late 70s and 80s. I was a low-down dirty dog. Things took an awkward turn on Sunday's The Project when the conversation abruptly shifted towards sexual abuse in Hollywood while admitting he was ashamed of his past behavior. Dreyfuss explained that his actions were culturally supported at the time, as Turner appeared to try to interject. Dreyfuss
then shared his view on the recent slate of
host Tommy Little summarily cut Dreyfuss off mid-sentence because they were running out of time, but nonetheless gave Turner the chance to share her thoughts about the topic.
I thought that last segment was about Supernova, not blindsiding one of the guests. Following the show, several fans discussed the tense interview on Twitter. The actress said that while the
to women speaking out, she believes that organizations set up to support women unable to afford lawyers to defend themselves are more important. Following the show, several fans discussed the tense interview on Twitter. An unhappy viewer wrote, I thought that last segment was about Supernova, not blindsiding one of the guests. Daily Mail Australia has contacted Network 10 for comment. Pictured, Dreyfuss, fellow actor Kathleen Turner and The Project host Tommy Little.